Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By Feathersnap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 999, during which we'll try to get an answer to the question, what does an owl know? We'll seek that answer from today's special guest, author Jennifer Ackerman. We'll also hear from our man Mike O'Connor from the famous Birdwatchers General Store with some valuable backyard birding information. And now from deep in the southwest U.S., here's the first of two listener-supplied audio postcards.
Hi, Ray. This is Lori Lamb, your Talkin' Birds ambassador in southeast Arizona. I'm hoping that we will be able to record the... he just sang. The Chihuahuan meadowlark. The Chihuahuan meadowlark was formerly called Lillian's meadowlark, a subspecies of eastern meadowlarks. And about 2 years ago, they determined that it is its own separate species. I don't know if you just heard that. That is a storm coming very close to me. And there's the Lillians again, or the Chihuahuan meadowlark. The monsoons have officially come to Arizona. I'm so thrilled. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Lori, for that report with beautiful Chihuahuan meadowlark singing and fascinating facts. That's our Southeast Arizona audio postcard. Now here's one from northern New England.
Hi, Ray. It's Donna Cooper from Andover, Massachusetts. I'm at a lake in New Hampshire this month where we have a family of loons that have been calling back and forth to each other this morning. I'm hoping that they will chip into this audio postcard. There you go. That's the sound that makes me know we're at the lake. Congratulations on your 1000th show coming up. Oh my gosh. A bald eagle is flying over the lake as I'm speaking. We worry that it's predating on the young loons. Anyway, good times at the lake.
Thank you, Donna. Thanks for sharing those good times at the lake. We're hoping the best for those loons there. Of course, the bald eagles have made such a great comeback, which is a great thing, but not great for the birds of prey, of course, or the prey birds of bald eagles. Well, here's a quick... before I forget, we're going to invite folks to send us audio postcards. We love getting them from wherever you are, including your backyard. Just record a little description of what you're seeing on your smartphone and send the file to Ray at Talkin' Birds. That's Ray at talkinbirds.com, that is. Hey, our new Talkin' Birds newsletter has been published. Not sure if we mentioned this last week, but I don't think so. If you're not a subscriber, you can still read the newsletter at talkinbirds.com under the Read button, R-E-A-D. And if you'd like to subscribe when you get there, you can do so for free and receive future issues automatically. That lovely lilting sound is our mystery bird. And it's a preview of our contest coming along a little bit later on in the show. And here are some clues as to the identity of that bird. It's a large, mostly white wading bird with black flight feathers and a black tail. Its upper neck and head are gray and featherless. Our bird inhabits southeastern U.S. cypress swamps and mangroves, where it probes for fish, holding its long, downward-curved bill open until it detects a fish or a frog or a large insect. Then it closes. That's a clue. There are some clues in the sound of our mystery bird, and prizes include a big bag of our favorite coffee, shade-grown, bird-friendly, Birds and Beans coffee, and 5 of those beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets from fresh-cut paper, bouquets that are wilt-proof and crafted to last a lifetime. And once again this week, if you're a winner in our contest by the right answer or by drawing, you'll be entered for a very special prize on next week's 1000th show. So a little extra something on this morning's Mystery Bird contest. Here's another salute to a member of the Talkin' Birds royalty, our Talkin' Birds ambassadors, listener volunteers who help us spread the word about the show. We'd like to thank Professor Stacy Elliott from Brentwood, Tennessee. And Stacy's also become a proud plurder, picking up litter while birding is what plurting is about. She says, I was just getting ready to add a section in my honors project planning courses on plurting. This will be a superb resource. I'm a big fan of birdability, inclusive birding, and slow birding. Thank you so much, Stacy. We love to appeal to more Talkin' Birds listeners to become ambassadors, especially since we have a goal in mind of growing our ambassadors family to 900 members by our 1000th show. That's only a week from now. We have a total in our family of 892 ambassadors. So can we add 8 more to our family between now and next week? We'll see, but we hope you will consider becoming a Talkin' Birds ambassador. Here's someone who's done that.
My name is Jessica Allen, and I'm from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. I enjoy telling people about Talkin' Birds because I know they'll enjoy it. I became a Talkin' Birds ambassador because after hearing the program, I immediately recognized the value in its content. It's informative but not intimidating, and it's packed with interesting and useful information every time. If you find yourself sharing a story you've heard on Talkin' Birds, or you've laughed out loud during a segment, or thought about a conservation issue long after the show ends, you're probably someone who recognizes the value in the content like I did, and you'd make a great ambassador.
Thank you so much for those beautiful comments there, Jessica. Our ambassadors program, a big deal to us. You can sign up anytime, like right now. Just go to talkinbirds.com, click on the Get Involved tab at the top of the page to see how to do that. Still to come today, we'll learn something about what an owl knows, the wonderful book by Jennifer Ackerman, bestseller, New York Times bestseller. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike segment, almost live from the archive, as he attempts to answer a question that many of his Birdwatchers General Store customers ask at this time of year. And up next, a bird with an unusual name and some slightly unusual behavior is today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friend. There are many different origins for the common names of birds, and maybe one of the most different is that of today's featured feathered friend. Its name can be traced back to a late Latin word that translates to brachial artery. Yes, brachial artery. Why that word was chosen seems to have been lost in the passage of time. But we do know that the word was gargula, and that the bird is the gargany. The gargany is a small and strikingly patterned dabbling duck. The male's upper parts are gray with black streaks. Its face and breast are chestnut brown, and it has a broad white eyebrow that extends all the way down the nape. The mostly brown female has a dark eyeline and a pale spot just behind the bill. The Gargany breeds across much of Eurasia in grasslands adjacent to shallow marshes and lakes, and that whole population moves south to winter in India, Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. Here in the U.S., the Gargany is seen in scattered populations in nearly every state, and it's a regular migrant in the Aleutians and other Alaskan islands. The Gargany feeds on pondweeds, grasses, and invertebrates by swimming with its head just below the water's surface, rather than tipping up as other dabbling ducks do. The Gargany's worldwide population is estimated to include about 5 million individuals, and it's listed as a species of least concern by BirdLife International. Its scientific name, Spatula querquerdula, describes its flat bill and harsh-sounding vocalizations. The Gargany, today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friend. Welcome again to our show, number 999. Jennifer Ackerman is the author of a fascinating New York Times best-selling book called What an Owl Knows, the New Science of the World's Most Enigmatic Birds. And she joins us now to tell us a bit about it. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Ray. Glad to be here.
Great to have you back again after a few years' absence. Well, in your book's preface, Jennifer, you say, and I'm condensing a bit here, owls have truths to tell us. We would be wise to listen. I want to ask you about some of those truths, but that quote made me think about the fact that people are not all that good at listening sometimes, but owls maybe are the best listeners in the bird world.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, it's been shown by experiment. It was as long ago as the 1960s that the famous biologist Roger Payne, he was the first to show that an owl can actually catch a mouse in the pitch black, relying only on sound. And they do this in a number of ways, but owls that hunt by ear, like barn owls and great gray owls, their heads are really kind of designed for listening. So those flat facial discs, and they act like a big external ear. It's kind of like a feathered satellite dish. Collects sound and channels it toward their ears, which are just holes in the sides of their heads.
And you write, too, that for owls, sound is perceived in the visual center of the brain, so they might actually get a kind of a visual picture of the sound. Is that right?
Yes. Well, this is a recent anatomical discovery that part of the hearing nerve in an owl's brain goes to its visual center. So the scientists don't know this, but they suspect that there may be some sort of optical picture of a sound that an owl perceives when it hears a noise.
You mentioned about the barn owls locating prey in total darkness. Birds can't see in total darkness, obviously, but they still manage to find this mouse, and not using scent at all either, just by listening in a room of total darkness.
Yes, and an owl's inner ears, it's the equipment inside the brain that just the barn owl, for instance, the cochlea, which is the hearing organ in the brain. In barn owls, it's really, really long. It's easily 3 or 4 times the length of the cochlea of most other birds, and it's packed with hearing cells. They're called hair cells, and that gives barn owls, a sense of hearing that's almost unequal in the animal world.
You mentioned those hairs in the cochlea. Readers of a certain age would be struck by the fact that hearing doesn't diminish with age in owls.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, unlike humans, owls don't lose their hair cells as they age, so their hearing remains acute throughout their lifetime, and it's for good reason. They depend on their hearing for their food, for hunting, so it makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint that those hair cells would endure.
What are some of those biggest truths that you mentioned there, that I mentioned at the beginning?
Yes. So owls, they They know all kinds of things. And I think one of the things that we've really learned is that owls are much more complicated and sophisticated, very subtle, and very intelligent. And they have this, as I said, this capacity to detect their prey through sound alone. They also know how to be invisible, how to disappear through camouflage and quiet flight. They can recognize one another by voice alone, which is also a remarkable way that they use their hearing. And it turns out that owls learn throughout their lives. They learn from one another, and they're far more, as I said, far more intelligent than we ever imagined.
Mm-hmm. Well, we learned so much about the amazing lives of owls in your book, but also a lot about the amazing lives of owl researchers. I'm thinking about folks like Mr. Owl, as he's been called, Denver Holt, who spent decades researching and teaching at the Owl Research Institute in Montana, and Marion Savelsberg, who does amazing work in the Netherlands, traveling to all sorts of places to find owls using a mobility scooter to get around. Just incredible. And as you told me just before the show, she is still at it. What's it been like joining in with some of these folks as they do their work?
Well, it's my very favorite part of the job is traipsing around with these scientists who are absolutely over the top dedicated to their species that they study, and they know so much, and they're so excited to share what they've learned. So I ended up talking with owl experts really all over the world and spent time in the field with some of the very best of them. They were studying owls in places like Montana and Italy, Brazil. And, it's not easy to study owls. They're very difficult to find. They often live in remote areas, and they're active at a time of day that's difficult to access sites. So these people really have to be incredibly dedicated. Marion Savelsberg is a musician by training, but she has learned how to apply her skills to listening in on the vocalizations of Eurasian eagle owls. So she now understands their social behavior based on their vocalizations. So she uses their hoots and cries to understand their individual identity and also their social lives, their mating habits. And she gets around on a mobility scooter in the area that she studies. Just incredibly dedicated, and she's turning up very, very interesting information about these birds. Mm-hmm. Magnificent birds.
You even talk about how we learned about paying attention to the emotions that birds show, that owls show, to learn more about them in a whole new way. And the afterword in your book is called Saving Owls, and lots of wonderful ideas about all of us, how all of us can help, and what so many people are doing to help right now. So we'll direct folks to reading your wonderful book to find out about those things. Jennifer Ackerman is the author of the remarkable and fascinating book we've been talking about, What an Owl Knows, the new science of the world's most enigmatic birds. A new paperback edition out just recently, right?
Yes, that's correct. Came out in June.
All right. What an Owl Knows, the new science of the world's most enigmatic birds. Jennifer, thanks for telling us about this wonderful book, and good luck with it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Ray.
Jennifer Ackerman here on Talkin' Birds. And up next, our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. Here it is again, the sweet sound of our mystery bird. What the heck is that bird? Tell us or take your guess and win some beautiful prizes here. Our mystery bird is a large, mostly white wading bird with black flight feathers and a black tail. Its upper neck and head are gray and featherless. You'll find our bird in cypress swamps, in mangroves here in the U.S. in the southeast, probing for fish, holding its long, downward curved bill open, and then closing it when it detects a fish or a frog or a large insect. A big bag of our favorite coffee, shade-grown, bird-friendly, and truly delicious Birds and Beans coffee is one of our prizes. And also 5 of those beautiful fresh-cut paper bouquets is our other prize. And if you win our contest today, you'll be eligible for something extra special in our show number 1000 on the 25th of August. 781-837-4900 is the number to call. That's 781-837-4900. Should I say that again? Because I got it wrong there a little bit. 781-837-4900. Up next, almost live from the archive. Let's ask Mike in just 1 minute.
Ready to take your backyard bird watching to the next level? FeatherSnap makes Wi-Fi-enabled smart bird feeders that blend the best of technology and nature. Get a high-def glimpse of your feathered friends with a top-of-the-line camera so every visitor can be seen with clarity and detail. A unique dual feeder bin helps attract more species, and built-in solar panels keep your camera's battery going strong. FeatherSnap's mobile app creates a truly immersive experience, allowing you to collect and organize your favorite pics and videos and earn badges along the way. FeatherSnap is a convenient and fun way to capture powerful images of your local birds and help get your friends and family excited about bird watching. Best of all, FeatherSnap offers expert-trained AI identification of more than 275 North American species, thanks to their in-house ornithologist. Check them out today at feathersnapcam.com. feathersnapcam.com.
Questions. Mike gets them all the time there down at the Birdwatchers General Store, and this week is no exception, apparently, when it comes to a couple of bird species. People are wondering where they went. Good morning, Mike.
Oh, good morning, Ray, and I know you're low on time, so I'll talk even faster than usual, if you don't mind.
Yeah, give the speed reading there.
Speed reading it is. Yeah, a couple of people ask me, and they ask me every time this year, what happened to their favorite catbirds or their mockingbirds. They were around, all of a sudden they disappeared. And they wonder, is it migrating yet? And no, not yet. But they get quiet this time of year. Normally chatty birds, especially mockingbirds and catbirds. Catbirds have that kind of imitation call like the mockingbirds do, but they add something to it like jazz singers. So they're a little bit more clever and they're chatty and they're going all the time. But then they shut down. And why do they shut down? Because it's molting season. The birds lose their feathers and they get a fresh new set of clothes. But they look kind of goofy, so most of the time they stay quiet and they stay in the thickets and they stay, because their flight ability is a little bit compromised, so they just shut down and they stay in the quiet areas, in the shadows and the thicker areas, and they don't want to call any attention to themselves. The mating season's over, the nesting season's over, they don't need to defend the territory right now, so they're just quiet and they're molting. And if you don't believe birds are molting, look at the next blue jay or cardinal you see, because a lot of them are bald, and I got a lot of calls on this, and that's another show, but you look at those blue jays and the cardinals and even some other birds, they've molted so quickly that their heads are bald and they're like tiny vultures. They're scary as heck. But that's what's going on. The birds are quiet, and a few weeks from now they'll look pretty and better than ever, and unfortunately the catbirds, most of them start heading out, but the mockingbirds will stay around and then they'll start singing again. All right, I gotta go, Ray.
Oh, okay, yeah, I like that jazz singer thing for the catbirds. Cool. I'll never think of them the same way again.
That's right.
Thank you, Mike.
You got it, man.
Mike O'Connor there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on famous and beautiful Cape Cod, and here's our beautiful mystery bird. It is a beautiful bird. Well, mostly beautiful. Most of it is beautiful. Maybe not counting the head and the sound, but other than that, it's just gorgeous. a large white wading bird, mostly white, black flight feathers and a black tail. Upper neck and head gray and featherless. What is that bird? 781-837-4900 would be the number to call to explain it to us or take your guess. And Vincent is somewhere in the Garden State, New Jersey. Hello, Vincent.
Hello, Ray. I'm your ambassador from New Jersey.
That's right. That's a good way to clarify. You're one of our Talking Birds ambassadors. You're the part of the royalty of our listening audience.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a guess for the mystery bird contest.
All right.
The bird that I've seen many times in Florida. The wood stork is my guess.
The wood stork is your guess, and it sounds like a darn top quality. Oh, it's more than a top quality guess. That's what we say when it's not quite exactly right. But that is exactly right. The wood stork. This bird, known, maybe you've seen this, Vincent, when you've seen it in Florida. I remember the first time I saw it was also in Florida, and it was at one of the famous locations there. And why can't I think of the name of it all of a sudden right now?
Corkscrew Swamp, possibly?
Thank you very much. Exactly. That's right. Corkscrew is where we saw it. And right while we parked the car in the parking lot, we saw it come flying over like a big fighter jet going over. Just amazing. They fly as high as 6,000 feet. More than a mile.
Well,
they
look beautiful in flight, but if you look at them up close, they have a face only a mother could love. They look kind of like a vulture.
They kind of do. Hey, we have time for a bonus question if you'd like to try it.
I would love to try.
All right. According to a story reported this week, some young people in China are doing something new as a way to deal with the pressures of working, studying, or looking for jobs after graduation. What is it that they're doing? Multiple choice here. A, they're joining a new social media platform that focuses on relaxation techniques. B, they're going on bird walks in between classes. Or C, they're flapping their shirt sleeves like wings and pretending to be birds. Those are your options.
Well, my guess would be number 2. They're going out on bird walk.
Going out on bird walks in between classes, which they may well be doing. However, we don't know that for sure, so we can't say that's the right answer because we don't know for sure. But what we do know is that they're flapping their shirt sleeves like wings and pretending to be birds. The story says, this is the New York Times where we saw this, that some young people...
I missed that article.
Young people in China are pretending to be birds as a way of dealing with pressures and to get a break from being human at a moment when their futures feel uncertain in the face of slowing economic growth in China. One student who's doing the bird pretending thing says the trend expresses, quote, the innate desire within every person for freedom, end quote. So that's what's happening there. But you didn't get that part, Vincent, but you got the other part, so that's the main thing. And if you'll stay on the line, Jesse will send you all that stuff or arrange for it to happen.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vincent, correctly identifying the wood stork as our mystery bird. Next week, Mike O'Connor, his arch rival David Clapp, and our own Talking Birds team members, Debbie Bleacher and Freya McGregor, will all be with us as we celebrate our Talking Birds show number 1,000 next week. Thanks to our amazing Talking Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, and our producing engineer, Jesse Wilkins, who will be with us too. I'm Ray Brown. See you next week.
The Bird Show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By FeatherSnap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.